Hi, my name is Tamara Mena, and I'm a model and actress. I was born and raised in Mexico, and I moved to the US when I was 13 years old. My grandfather wasn't doing well health-wise. They were only giving him a few months to live. And so my mom and I moved there, and we were close with him. And actually, it was amazing because he was in a wheelchair, and he was always so positive. He never let the wheelchair stop him in any way, anything that he wanted. So I moved to Modesto, and I went to high school where I met my boyfriend, Patrick. He was my first true love, and we were just an amazing couple. October 15, 2005 absolutely changed my life. In seconds, everything that I thought my life would be just crashed. That night, we drove to the border, grabbed a taxi in Mexico, and we did this thinking it would be safer. We didn't want to drink and drive. And the last thing I said to him was, "Babe, I'm really cold." And he just kind of snuggled me. We crashed with a horse that was randomly standing in the middle of the road. And the taxi driver tried to swerve, but it was just too late. Where I was, the roof was collapsed all the way down to sea level. Patrick pushed me down. He tried to protect me, and he essentially saved my life. I broke my shoulder. I broke my clavicle. They had to reconstruct it. I broke my neck. I broke my back. I broke my ribs. My lungs collapsed. I also had fractures in my face, my nose, and other fractures. And then I became paralyzed from the chest down. And unfortunately, Patrick and the taxi driver were killed instantly. At that moment, I didn't care that I lost my legs. I didn't care that I couldn't feel them. I was just devastated that he was gone. And the best way I could honor him was to keep going. In a way, I wanted to do it for both of us. My whole family was amazing. No matter what, we still had to keep going and loving life and be thankful. Being 19 years old, it's a time where you just feel invincible. You don't think anything bad's gonna happen to you. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a wheelchair. I did not think I could model in a wheelchair at all. My image of wheelchair and disability was barely anything, if anything, and it was negative. So my first photo shoot, I did not include the wheelchair. I didn't even think about it. I was showing these photos to my friend as "Oh, look, it's my first photo shoot." And he goes, "Where's your wheelchair?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, it's part of you." And the next photo shoot I did, I included the wheelchair. I will never forget that moment in my life because it was a turning point. It was I'm in control. I'm not gonna let the wheelchair define me. It was the very first time that I was actually proud of me, including the wheelchair. It's inspired other girls to do it and to just feel empowered and feel beautiful and sexy in the wheelchair, to own it. So in a way, I've tried to become the representation I wish I would have had. I was not connected with other people with disabilities, and I didn't have any examples of people in the media. I know, hands down, if I had seen that, representation of people with disabilities in a powerful and a positive and authentic way, that would have helped me in my journey to know that, okay, I can do it too. Everything was completely new, completely different. And your most basic needs that before I took for granted, now you don't have them and you're having to work with your body. One of the most difficult things for me was my voice. I lost my voice. I had to be hooked to a ventilator. This is the scar. I felt so lucky that I got it back, and I appreciate it in a level that I didn't appreciate before. I know there's other people who don't have a voice or are scared to use your voice, and you have the talent, you have what it takes to do the job. And to be denied just because of your physical condition. I didn't ask to be disabled. It's not something that you choose. Nobody chooses that. People focus on the disability. Like, they see the wheelchair, they see weakness, they see inability, they just think of unattractive, undesirable, unlovable, instead of seeing beyond your disability or seeing beyond your differences, and just getting to know you as a person and getting to see what you can do. I do have grace for people because I was there once, completely ignorant, didn't know anything. But I also, it's a time where it's 2021 and we need to be louder and speak up more about these things because we matter. Our stories aren't being told authentically. You know, other people who are non-disabled are playing our characters. We don't even get to have a seat at the table in any ways. We need to be seen for who we are and be given more opportunities. My disability is obviously visible. You see me, you already know. But there's a lot of disabilities that are invisible. Just because somebody looks able-bodied or non-disabled doesn't mean they don't have some sort of chronic illness or disability. So we need to shatter those stigmas and the negative stereotypes. We all need to just become more understanding of each other. We're normal people, you know? Like, I hate that there's this phrase, like, we need to normalize disability. We don't have to be normal. We are normal. And your life may be more difficult, but doesn't mean that you're no longer able or capable.